The launch of Bioware's trailer and gameplay was met with some skepticism, but with a 10-year gap between Dragon Age Inquisition and Dragon Age 4, you can understand why some people are skeptical to add it to their wishlist. Ultimately though, no one wants this game to be bad, so let's take a look at my top 5 new and returning features to Dragon Age the Veilguard. Number 1. Backstories and backgrounds. One of the greatest features of Dragon Age Origins is origin stories. The opening hour of the game sets it all up as your story. Do you want to be the downtrodden castless dwarf that's gaining honour for the first time for your family? Or do you want to be the royal Kuzlan on a vengeful quest to regain your family name and become the ruler of Ferelden? Now, while this feature wasn't heavily woven into the main story, once you got going, it settled you into your story and it made each playthrough that little bit more unique. Cyberpunk tried a similar feature as well. While it still could have done with a longer background intro, in Cyberpunk it gives you those unique dialogue options that make your playthrough that little bit more unique. Seeing a similar feature return to Dragon Age really gets me excited to come back to Thedas. Seeing these unique backstories that we've been hearing about, like Veil Jumpers or Shadow Dragons. Even going back to being a Grey Warden might be a great opportunity to roleplay as your Warden from Dragon Age Origins. Of course, if there aren't any lore contradictions. My number 2 feature, multiple playable races. Now I'll admit it is nice to put yourself in these fantasy settings every once in a while, but the chance to play as a Canary or an elf, especially as we go into Tevinter for the next Dragon Age. Just imagine the unique dialogue as we face off against those mysterious elven gods that we saw at the end of the gameplay. Or maybe if we play as a dwarf this time around, we'll get a new insight into what's actually going on at Orzammar. And I know this feature's kind of become expected for the next Dragon Age, but it's just good to know we won't be faced with that unpleasant surprise like we did with Dragon Age 2, like with Hawk, where we literally only get to pick the gender or the combat class. Number 3. Streamlined combat. Look, while some might argue that it's nice to have 3 companions alongside us on our adventures, Bioware's constantly struggled to walk the line between strategy and free-flowing combat. Over time, to make combat more enjoyable for everyone, Bioware started to move away from turn-based combat. But in Dragon Age the Veilguard, the team kept that pause mechanic and made the combat quicker for those that prefer the story to the challenge of strategic gameplay, which gives that comfortable balance depending on your difficulty. And having fewer companions to micromanage makes it a little bit simpler for those new players. And best of all, if you'd prefer to let your companions do their thing, their competence in battle will improve over time. Couple that with Spartan kick abilities, shield throws, mage shields. These abilities would be an exciting addition to combat encounters. Drink break. Number 4. The Mass Effect 2 treatment. I think we can all agree that Mass Effect 2 is the best game of the original Mass Effect trilogy. It steers clear of the Andromeda fetch quest trap, and to a degree Inquisition as well. The linear style of Mass Effect 2 helped the developers to focus on character relationships and story, and according to a reputable source, Shinobi602 on Twitter, who has played Veilguard, states that side quests are story heavy and handcrafted in the Veilguard. Whether this means we could see a return to loyalty missions remains to be seen, but if so, I think that could truly help us connect with these new companions. Number 5. Killer companions. Now first off, if you rejumble the letters in the Veilguard, the letters make Evil Daughter. Coincidence? I think not. In all seriousness though, Shinobi on Twitter also teased the return of some killer companions. Now given that we already know that the Inquisitor, Varric and Harding are coming back, it's pretty clear that we can look forward to seeing other companions return as well. But who do you think we'll see? Let us know in the comments below. Could we see Dorian or Fenris? And if these characters were romanced, it would be interesting to see how their lives are going on with the protagonists from previous games. Or maybe when we see the Inquisitor come back, if they romance Dorian, Dorian will appear as well. Now that's our list of our top 5 new and returning features to Dragon Age the Veilguard. Did you see the gameplay? It recently caught us off guard, and if you'd like to see why, you'll have to check out the video that's on screen now. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Commander.